I think that it's important if you're coming to UIC to understand that UIC is a school that appreciates architecture as like a cultural thing and like an art form as well. And there is obviously a lot of professors in the school. I'm thinking now about Dan Wheeler, for example, who are very technical people um, who work in the real world, but you also have a lot of professors that are really concerned about theories of architecture. And so it's a really good place for you to really dive into the kind of like things that make up architecture. It's not necessarily a place where you're going to learn the ways of the profession, if that makes any sense. Like you're not going to learn the things that you're going to learn at an office. The school is not focused on that. It's more focused to prepare your mind on how to think like an architect.
Think of what things you like, that you really, really like. You like residential, you like commercials, you like industrial. Think of what you really like, and especially when you get to studio, when you're allowed to just go crazy wild and explore all kinds of things, and they're not really going to yell at you for good or bad or wrong. Not to say like, here, we want you to draft this house. Okay, then you're copying that you don't have really much room for play. But in studio, you have that free room, or free reign. Explore what you really like and passionately go after it.
I would say definitely make friends, because it's the best place to meet probably lifelong friends or just some good people, because it's not a competition. It's just a fun activity. And another one is get into a habit of reading, because there's going to be a lot of reading and it's good to read. And like once you get into it, it's very, very interesting. And like I feel like you get fascinated by it and you get to learn more. It's like just comparing the people who do read versus who don't. You get like to have more interesting conversations, and you get to have more interesting developed projects. And yeah, just reading is so amazing. I love reading right now. Thank you to UIC School of Architecture for making me read. I really appreciate it.
Just try to mingle as much as you can. Go to the events that the school has. There's a lot of really great lectures from people that are coming from the outside that are super worth going to. And again, don't take theory classes for granted or theory lectures for granted. It's really important. I can't say this enough, to learn how to think like an architect. There's a lot of people who go out in the field who don't know how to think like an architect yet, and they struggle. It's important to know how to think like one first.
I would say don't be discouraged and afraid of asking questions. I guess don't be discouraged or afraid of asking your professors, TAs, and colleagues questions or things that you don't understand. We all come from different backgrounds and have different skill sets. And here at UIC, they welcome that and genuinely want to see you push yourself to be the best possible version. And I guess other things I'd add on, just be patient, take things slowly, and as long as you put your heart or mind to it, just put your heart and mind into the things that you do, and you'll be able to do it well.
So I think college is really a setting where you get out of it as much as you put in. So like, be competitive with your peers, but also be competitive with yourself. I think that's very important. And I would say that if the work ever feels easy or comfortable, like something's not right. Like you're not pushing yourself hard enough, or you're just not growing in the way that college kind of wants you to grow. Yeah. And then you have to want to learn and just be always curious about things. And then it becomes a really rewarding experience where you get to grow your network and your connections with your professors and also your peers that are going to be like fighting for the same jobs that you want, sort of. But also, I think you get to develop a sense of style and like a design identity that's your own. And I think that's the nicest part, is like developing your sensibility. It's satisfying to look at. You look at your first year work and your last year's work, and you just kind of, it shows like the development of your thought process and also your style.
I think that from the point of view of a first year student, I would say just don't get completely turned off from architecture if it isn't exactly how you think it's going to be in the first month or so. Like, it's like, it's kind of its own world, like UIC School of Architecture, and it's great to like be a part of it. And I think it takes time to like really feel like a part of it sometimes. And it's about like what I was saying about allowing it to invade part of your life to a degree. And so I think that once you do and you kind of break down that barrier, I think that it's just really a great way to think about education and like life and work and personal interests and things. It's and so I think that being willing to participate and be involved is going to open up a lot of doors and give the work that you do more meaning. And everyone arrives here with different levels of experience or initial mindsets, but being present and up for the learning experiences in any form is going to kind of put your best foot forward, and it's going to help you raise your own standard, even if like the rest of the pack isn't willing to. I think that having like the personal standard for yourself to seek new ideas and skills and to kind of stick with things, even if they take a different turn than you thought they would, is so important.